Dear Elecmetal friend, I'm here today to share with you my passion and my conviction regarding our vision of the future. My passion because I think that the vision of the future is a very challenging proposal that inspires us to deliver the best of us, to grow the business, and by growing the business, to grow ourselves as human beings. But also to share with you my conviction that even if it is a very challenging proposal, it's achievable. And it is achievable if we have the ability of live in every daily activities the vision of the future as a compass that is enlightening the future, is providing us as a lighthouse, a direction, but more importantly, that we use it in our daily activities as an acid test. An acid test that is telling us how to add value to the company. Our vision of the future is our definition of how to add value to the company. In that sense, if we ask ourselves in front of any activity, of any action, of any task, by doing this, am I getting Elecmetal closer to the realization of our vision of the future? If the answer is positive, it means that we have room to act without asking permission to anybody within an adequate framework and reasonable framework, of course. But if the answer is negative, we should not do it, and we should stop wasting our time and effort in pursuing something that is not really adding value to the future. So the vision of the future should give us that level of autonomy that we need to feel ourselves as contributing to the realization of the vision of the future in everything we do. But in order to do that, we need to ensure that everybody totally understands and have a common understanding of what do we mean by our vision of the future. And not only that, the vision of the future, as I said, is achievable. But we need to define how to achieve it. What is really the frame of reference within which we can really act with autonomy? And I think that we have this little tag that is describing our vision, mission, and value statement. So the vision is basically our dream, what we want to achieve. And how we want to achieve it is by following our mission. And our mission is really to meet expectations, to meet the needs of our stakeholders, of all of them. And in doing that, we need to do it in an ethical manner, basically using as a reference in how we do it our set of values. We have 8 values described in this little tag in this document. But perhaps the most important one that we need to keep in mind all the time is the respect for dignity, the first value in the list. And respect for dignity means really to respect the dignity of every human being that is interacting with us. We need to see our peers as human beings with needs and expectations to be satisfied. We need to see our customers as human beings with needs and expectations that we need to strive to satisfy. We need to see the communities where we operate as human beings that we need to help them to grow and develop themselves. We need to see our shareholders as human persons that deserve a just return on their investment. So the respect for the dignity involves all our activities, and perhaps that's the best summary of the other 7 corporate values that we have in this list. Teamwork, commitment to the community and environment, creativity and innovation, customer focus, proactive search for excellence, human development and responsibility and integrity. If you think about it, the other 7 values are a consequence of fully respecting the dignity of everybody who is interacting with the company. And in order to really use the vision of the future as a compass, as a lighthouse, we need to ensure that we have, as I said, a common interpretation of the meaning of the vision of the future. To be globally competitive, to be a globally competitive supplier, recognized by its excellence and leadership in the delivery of integral solutions which add value to the mining processes and to other target markets. Do we share a common interpretation of the meaning of this vision of the future? What do we mean by globally competitive? What do we mean by integral solutions? What do we mean by excellence in the delivery of integral solutions? What do we mean by leadership in the delivery of integral solutions? How can we add value to the mining processes? I think that we need to ensure that everybody in the organization is on the same page and we have a common understanding of the deep implications of this vision of the future. How does it help each and every one of us in our daily duties and responsibilities? If we don't understand properly the meaning of our vision of the future, it's very difficult to use it as a frame within which we can really behave and perform our duties and responsibilities with the highest possible level of autonomy. And if we have that level of autonomy, I think that we will feel ourselves as developing our own person in contributing to this long-term project that adds value not only to the company but to our society. So the real challenge is to interpret the vision of the future in a manner that is providing us with very clear insights on how to run the business to achieve this vision of the future. And if you think about it, in the definition of our vision of the future, we have 3 very distinct pillars, what we call the strategic imperatives. Strategic imperatives because if we do not achieve each of the goals of these 3 strategic imperatives, there is no way that we are going to realize our vision of the future. And on top of that, we need to ensure that the underpinnings, our organization, our organizational structure, is supporting properly these three pillars. And these three pillars are to be globally competitive, search of excellence, and integral solutions. What do we mean by globally competitive? Are we really a global competitor? Are we fully using the fact that we are spread out around the world with facilities, with commercial networks? Are we properly sharing our best practices? Are we using our failures to avoid repeating them in other parts of the world? Are we really a global competitor? So those are very important questions that we need to answer ourselves. Are we searching excellence in all what we do? In order to realize our vision of the future, we need to excel in our ability of identifying the needs of our customers, in identifying their expectations. In many cases, even the customer does not know what they need. We need to work with them in order to ensure that we are identifying properly their needs, their reasonable expectations, and we, as an organization that is focusing on adding value to our customers, need to use all the resources that are available in the organization to really deliver additional value to them. And that's the way of conquering the loyalty of our customers. So excel in our customer focus, but also excel in the way we interact with our peers. We need to focus also in our internal clients who are benefiting or suffering our way of doing things. We need to understand who is being affected by our actions inside the company. So it's also critical for us to excel in the way we behave internally in the company. And integral solutions. What's the real meaning of integral solutions? That is a very critical imperative of our vision of the future. We are not any longer seeing ourselves as selling products or selling services. We are basically striving to understand our customers, to identify what are their urgent problems that we can try to solve. And that's our driver. Once we have identified the needs and expectations of our customer, we need to combine all the resources, all the different products, all the different services that we have in our toolbox in order to deliver what they need to solve the problem. And if we don't have it in our toolbox today, to see whether or not we can develop a new product, a new service, if we can really use third parties that excel in that specific area to help us to bring back to the customer the best potential solution for the identified problem. So this is the three pillars. These are the three pillars of our vision of the future. And obviously, those three pillars need to be supported by a very strong organization, an organization that is visionary, dynamic, and it's really striving to deliver value to all its stakeholders. So in a nutshell, this is what we mean by our vision of the future. Thank you so much.